In this video, I want to talk about Team Affinity Season 1, Chapter 1 here in MLB 24. If y'all enjoy the videos, feel free to subscribe for daily MLB The Show videos. Just a quick recap though, each season of MLB The Show 24 is going to be about 12 weeks long. Each season will have 3 chapters of Team Affinity. Chapter 1's at the start. 4 weeks in, you'll get Chapter 2. 4 weeks after that, you'll get Chapter 3. Those will be 99s. Chapter 2 will be 93 or 94s. I believe Chapter 1 we'll see in a sec, but I think those are 89s. And so about 8 weeks in, you'll have Chapter 3 of Team Affinity 8 weeks into each season, and you'll start getting 99s from the Team Affinities. And if you want to check out the progress, they have vouchers. You can earn them from mini seasons or showdown. The showdown's repeatable this year. There are moments, but only for hitters, they said. There's no pitching moments. I'm not sure if that means each team will have a moment or not, but that's how that works. There's repeatable parallel XP missions with the teams and the bosses. There's multiplayer missions. Some are repeatable. There's repeatable innings pitched missions like they brought last year. There's other repeatable missions, homers, hits, things like that, as well as some stat missions, some boss missions that are repeatable. They also have single player missions, some repeatable, some not. There's exchanges. I think they're going to have more exchanges as the year goes on. There's a conquest map for East, Central, and West, how we've had in the past few years. And you can always earn some progress through March to October. But now I want to go through all the rewards for each division. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on each card just because this would be a super long video, but each division is going to look the same. You're going to have some live series packs. You're going to have uniforms. I'll go ahead and look at those for each division, but that's what the unlockables are going to be. You get some show packs. You get the live series, Ball and As a Habits, 60,000 Team Affinity points. You get your first choice for these bosses for Chapter 1. I do want to say they said that Team Affinity is going to be the quickest grind it's been ever for Team Affinity. So you should be getting through these Team Affinity programs than you have in other years. But taking a look at the American League East, we have Cedric Mullins, All-Star. Yeah, these are 89 overalls. Chapter 2 in about 4 weeks, they said should be 93 or 94. And then 8 weeks into the season, Chapter 3 of Team Affinity will be 99s. But we're starting Chapter 1 with 89 overalls. We got Cedric Mullins right here for the Orioles. We have Kevin Youkilis for the Red Sox, 89 breakout series. I'm probably just going to show the attributes and the quirks for each card. If you want to pause it, take a closer look on any of them. As always, feel free. Gary Sanchez, a lot of power, not a lot of contact versus lefties. For the Yankees, Team Affinity, Chapter 1 card. Evan Longoria, Veteran Series for the Rays, 105 power for him versus left-handed pitching. And then Sean Green to finish off the American League East. He's the Blue Jays card, 94 and 93 versus righties for this 89 Sean Green. 100,000, you get your second pack. This Stub Millionaire pack has a 1 in 1 million chance to get you 1 million stubs. Also a chance of 75,000 stubs, a chase pack, headliner, ball in, show pack, or a 100 stub voucher. But again, 1 in 1 million chance to make 1 million stubs. And each chapter of Team Affinity Season 1, each Chapter 1 looks like they're going to have for each division one of these packs. You get your next choice at 130, another at 170, and 200,000 Team Affinity points will get you all the cards here in each Team Affinity division. All of them going to be set up the same way. The only difference is going to be the unlockables, player specific for the divisions, things like that. So let's move over to the National League East. We can see set up the same way. We can see the uniforms for the NL East right here. Keep moving on down, and you get your boss pack for Chapter 1 of Team Affinity for the National League East. Checking out the attributes on them. We've got David Justice for the Braves. Nice left-handed swing right here. 102 and 88 for him versus righties. A lot of quirks on the card as well. I'm always a big fan of Giancarlo Stanton cards. I'm excited to get my hands on this one. He's the Marlins for Team Affinity Season 1, Chapter 1. No quirks, but always a powerful swing from Giancarlo Stanton. The Mets have David Wright's All-Star Series as their Team Affinity Chapter 1 card here in Season 1. And then the Phillies are going to have a Billy Wagner. We see the velo in the top right for him, the control in the top right, and the pitch break in the top right for this 89 overall second half Billy Wagner. And then the Nationals get the Takashi Okazaki card art Vlad Sr. as their Team Affinity boss here in Chapter 1 of Season 1. And that is going to be the NL East for Team Affinity. Again, we see the Stub Millionaire pack in here, so you're going to have 6 chances just through Team Affinity. You'll find those packs in some other areas of MLB The Show 24 as well. Next up, we're going to go over the Central divisions, starting with the American League Central. We can see their uniforms right here through this Chapter 1 of Season 1 Team Affinity. Then the bosses for the American League Central, starting with the White Sox, they get a rookie, Jose Abreu, rookie series. Again, all of these are 89 overalls. Jose Abreu for the White Sox, Emmanuel Clase. I feel like 89 overall relievers are always a bit better than the 89 hitters, but we see his velo in the top right, control in the top right, and the break in the top right. And if we check out his quirks, he does in fact have outlier on his cutter, so that's going to be coming in there pretty fast. Ivan Rodriguez, Pudge for the Tigers, this All-Star Series for them. He's going to be the Tigers Team Affinity card here in Chapter 1 of Season 1. Some quirks on the card as well. Looking solid with those. Zach Greinke, second half heroes for the Royal. 89 overall starting pitcher. We see the velo in the top right, the control in the top right, and the pitch break in the top right for this Zach Greinke for the Royals. One quirk, it's going to be pickoff artist for him. And finishing off the American League Central with new legend to this year, Brian Dozier. Used to love using his cards a few years ago in Diamond Dynasty. He's back for MLB 24. 101 power for him versus left-handed pitching. We see some quirks on the card as well, including one of my favorites, Dead Red. I love seeing that one. I'm also a big first pitch hitter. And that is going to be the American League Central and their bosses here for Chapter 1, Season 1 in Team Affinity. Now for the National League Central, I'm curious to see this one. We can see the unlockables. We got uniforms right here. Some beautiful ones for the Cubs, their 1902 road jerseys. And then checking out the bosses. I don't know if I've actually seen... Oh, yeah, I guess I knew who the Cardinals was. It's Jack Flaherty, isn't it? But checking out the Cubs, they got Sammy Sosa, 89 overall All-Star Series. I love Sammy Sosa's swing. Contact looks a little bit low, but again, these are all 89 overalls. They have a power creep this year, so... by the time you're getting these, they should be pretty good. And once Chapter 2 rolls around, we'll be seeing some better cards anyways. But to start the year, some 89 overalls. Joey Votto for the Reds with max power versus right-handed pitching. Oh, man, this looks like it could be a nasty card in Battle Royale. Second half hero, Joey Votto right there. I'm always a big fan of Yasmani Grandal cards. I love me some switch hitters. He's got some power, and he's got some fielding for the Brewers Team Affinity Chapter 1 card. I'm kind of liking the look of this Yasmani. AJ Burnett, starting pitcher for the Pirates Team Affinity Chapter 1 card. We see the velo in the top right. We see the control in the top right. And then the break in the top right for this AJ Burnett. And Jack Flaherty, I probably would have preferred somebody who's still in the Cardinals. I think we could say that for a lot of these teams. There's checking out not just this division, but some others. There's some guys that are maybe not with the teams currently, but still got cards for them, including this Jack Flaherty starting pitcher. I like the pitch selection in the top right. We see the velo for it, the control, and the pitch break for him. 93 hits per 9 on an 89. That's not too bad. No quirks for him, though. I always like seeing quirks, so it is never fun when they don't have any. But Jack Flaherty for the Cardinals boss. Maybe this one will get me my million stubs and make me a stub millionaire. And that's it for the Central divisions in Chapter 1 of Team Affinity. Then we also have the West divisions now. Starting with the American League West, we can see the uniforms here for the unlockable packs, and then the bosses for Chapter 1, Season 1, Team Affinity for the AL West. Starting with the Astros, they've got Carlos Correa right here. Max contact for him versus left-handed pitching. The 107 clutch looking pretty nice. 80 fielding, 64 speed for this shortstop, the All-Star Carlos Correa. No quirks on the card for him. I'm a big fan of Raisel Iglesias, especially in BR. Velo in the top right, control in the top right, pitch break in the top right, 87 hits per 9, but 104 pitching clutch for this 89 Raisel Iglesias as the Angels, Chapter 1 of Season 1 Team Affinity for their boss. Moving on to the Athletics, Ricky Henderson, one of my favorite, no doubt, animations in the game. 81-74 contact, 56-70 power, but of course 99 speed and stealing for Ricky Henderson, with quite a few quirks on the card as well. That second half card. We have Mitch Haniger for the Mariners, 77 and 95 for his contact, 85 103 for his power. Really pretty good versus lefties for this Topps now. And we also have no quirks on the card for the Mariners here in Team Affinity Season 1 Chapter 1. Ending off the American League West with the Rangers, Jose Leclerc, closing pitcher. And this looks scary. 121 hits per 9, 99 velo, only 72 control, but we see in the top right his pitch selection looking solid, the velo looking good, obviously. The control is what scares me about this card, but 121 hits per 9, it might not matter. And then the pitch break for each of his pitches, and he does not have outlier on any of his pitches. He's the Rangers Team Affinity Chapter 1 card, and that's the American League West. One division to go. It's going to be the National League West. We've got their unlockables, their uniforms here for the NL West, and then moving on down to their bosses, starting with the Diamondbacks. They get a Brandon Webb. I actually realized last year that I'm really a big fan of using Brandon Webb cards. I like the pitch selection. We see it in the top right with the velo. Not looking too great. The control, not looking too great. The pitch break, looking pretty solid. That's one of his better ratings we see here, but I don't know if I'm liking the look of this rookie. Brandon Webb, 89 for the D-backs. Chuck Nasty, Charlie Blackmon. I'm always a big fan of his swing. 99, 100 for his contact ratings. 88 power versus righties. 66 versus lefties with max 125 clutch. But then in the outfield, center field, left, right, only 68 fielding, a noodle arm, 68 reaction, and 69 speed for Charlie Blackmon, who excels at hitting breaking balls. The Dodgers get a Justin Turner, 89 overall third baseman. Also plays first, second, and shortstop. Really good versus lefties. Max power, 106 contact, and then 95 power versus righties, 66 contact, 70 fielding, 57 reaction, 35 speed. I might be looking for this dude as a DH in some Battle Royale runs. Another one of my favorite legends is Tony Gwynn. I love his swing every year. 100 for each of his contact ratings, 42 and 54 for his power, but he plays way above that always. 104 vision, 80 fielding, pretty solid arm, but not as good as I might expect for a Tony Gwynn card. And then 87 speed for him, with quite a few quirks as well. Dead red, breaking ball hitter, first pitch hitter, bad ball hitter, situational. I'm liking the look for an 89. I know the power is a bit low. I'm always a big fan of Tony Gwynn cards. And then new Cardinal this year, Brandon Crawford, is going to be the Giants Team Affinity card for Chapter 1, Season 1 of Team Affinity. 106 contact, 69 contact versus lefties, but 106 versus righties. 82 and 75 for his power, 116 clutch, 86 fielding, 35 speed on this Brandon Crawford All-Star Series card. And that is the Team Affinity Season 1, Chapter 1 here for MLB The Show 24. I'm interested to see if any of these cards are ones you're going to be working towards trying to get early on. There's definitely a few I want to try. The number one that stands out to me might just be that Tony Gwynn card. I'm always a big fan of him. And that was Team Affinity Season 1, Chapter 1 for MLB The Show 24.